NFL's worst trade ever traps Browns into $230 million catastrophically bad deal through 2028. The Cleveland Browns enter 2026 carrying an NFL record $80.7 million salary cap hit for a quarterback who has not taken a snap since October 2024. Deshaun Watson's cap figure, nearly 29% of Cleveland's entire 2026 salary cap, is the largest single-player cap charge in league history. It leaves the Browns with almost no financial flexibility to build a competitive roster, effectively paralyzing a franchise that traded away years of draft capital to acquire him just 4 seasons ago. The contract that rewrote history. In 2022, Cleveland surrendered multiple first-round draft picks and handed Watson a 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed contract, the largest fully guaranteed deal in NFL history at the time. CBS Sports ranked it the #1 worst contract in NFL history. ESPN analyst Bill Barnwell called it, arguably, the worst trade in NFL history. The Browns gambled franchise-altering resources on a quarterback who had not played a regular season game in over a year before arriving in Cleveland. Watson has played just 19 of a possible 68 regular season games across his 4 seasons in Cleveland, 6 in 2022, 6 in 2023, 7 in 2024, and 0 in 2025 after suffering a torn Achilles in October. During his limited appearances, he posted some of the worst statistical performances in Browns franchise history, never coming close to justifying the historic investment made to acquire and retain him at any cost. Browns owner Jimmy Haslam has publicly acknowledged the deal went badly wrong, describing the Watson acquisition as a swing and a miss. That rare admission from an NFL owner underscores the magnitude of the franchise's miscalculation. Cleveland traded 3 first-round picks and 3 additional picks to the Houston Texans for Watson, surrendering years of draft capital while simultaneously paying him a guaranteed contract no other team has since attempted to replicate. Dead money trap through 2028. Releasing Watson does not solve the Browns' financial crisis. Cutting him before June 1, 2026 triggers over $131 million in immediate dead money, worse than retaining him. A post-June 1 release in 2027 remains the most realistic exit path, but still leaves a $51.5 million dead cap charge in 2028. Cleveland remains financially handcuffed through at least 2028, limiting meaningful roster-building capacity for the better part of an entire decade. Sanders struggles in debut season. With Watson sidelined, 5th-round rookie Shedeur Sanders stepped in but struggled significantly. Sanders completed just 56.6% of his passes with 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions across 7 games, posting an 18.9 QBR, one of the lowest marks among qualified quarterbacks in recent league history. While Sanders flashed improvisation and playmaking ability at moments, his decision-making and consistency raised serious questions about whether he is Cleveland's legitimate long-term franchise quarterback. On January 28, 2026, the Browns hired Todd Monken as head coach, bringing in the architect of Baltimore's dominant offense built around Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Monken's system is specifically designed for mobile, dual-threat quarterbacks who threaten defenses with their legs. Neither the recovering Watson nor the inconsistent Sanders currently fits that profile, leaving Cleveland in the uncomfortable position of installing an offensive scheme that may not suit any quarterback on its current roster. A starved free agent market. The Browns face a severely restricted quarterback market heading into the 2026 offseason. Expensive veterans in free agency do not fit Cleveland's financial constraints given Watson's enormous cap burden. The 2026 NFL draft class at quarterback is considered one of the weakest in recent memory, offering minimal top-end talent. The combination of cap restrictions, a thin draft class, and unproven incumbents leaves Cleveland with few realistic or cost-effective paths to upgrading the position. The only path forward. Cleveland's clearest route forward involves restructuring Watson's contract one final time to generate meaningful 2026 cap relief, allowing Monken to build offensive infrastructure around the quarterback position. Sanders and any added competition must earn the starting role outright. The team must simultaneously invest available resources in wide receivers and offensive linemen to support whoever starts. Disciplined cap management and patient roster construction will define how quickly the Browns can stabilize their broken offensive foundation. A decade-long recovery. The Watson deal has set the Browns back in ways rivaling the worst contractual disasters in professional sports history. Bleacher Report ranked the trade the fourth worst across all major sports this century, behind only 3 NBA transactions. With dead cap money lingering through 2028 and an improving quarterback room, a legitimate rebuild timeline extends well beyond a single offseason. Smart drafting and financial discipline remain Cleveland's only real tools as the franchise absorbs the full consequences of one historic miscalculation. Sources: why the Browns hired Todd Monken as head coach and what it means for their future. ESPN, January 2026. Agents take. Browns are stuck with Deshaun Watson for another year. CBS Sports, February 2026. Deshaun Watson contract details and salary cap projections. Over the cap, 2026. Texans agree to trade for 3 first-round picks more. Houston Texans official site, March 2022. Browns owner Jimmy Haslam admits team took a big swing and miss with Deshaun Watson. NFL.com, March 2025. Ranking the worst trades in sports this century. Bleacher Report, November 2025. NFL's worst trade ever traps Browns into $230 million catastrophically bad deal through 2028. In the high-stakes world of the NFL, bold decisions often define a franchise's future. Sometimes they create dynasties. Other times they become cautionary tales repeated for decades. For the Cleveland Browns, the blockbuster acquisition of Deshaun Watson may fall firmly into the latter category, a move many analysts now describe as one of the worst trades in league history. What began in 2022 as a dramatic attempt to secure a franchise quarterback has instead become a financial and competitive trap that could haunt the Browns until the end of the decade. The deal that changed everything. In March 2022, the Browns shocked the NFL by trading for Watson from the Houston Texans. Cleveland surrendered a massive haul, 3 first-round picks along with additional mid-round selections to secure the quarterback. But the real shock came after the trade. Cleveland handed Watson a 5-year, $230 million contract that was fully guaranteed, the largest guaranteed deal in NFL history at the time. Fully guaranteed contracts are rare in the NFL, where teams typically protect themselves with partial guarantees. The Browns ignored that tradition, betting everything on Watson returning to his elite form. It was a gamble unlike any the league had seen. Immediate controversy. Even before Watson took a snap for Cleveland, the move sparked intense criticism. At the time of the trade, Watson faced numerous civil lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct. The controversy followed him to Cleveland and quickly became a public relations nightmare for the franchise. The NFL eventually suspended Watson for 11 games during the 2022 season, delaying his debut and casting a shadow over the team's plans. Instead of bringing stability, the trade brought turbulence.